Hi guys, and welcome to the last part of the series Saga of Free. Long story short, I have just done 2 readings. I started out as wanting to do an almost personal for whoever needs it, and then it just caught me into a story, and I get different sides to the story, and now just when I'm about to finish the readings, I get a new aspect of it, so I am continuing. Last one. This one, how are we going to do this? I'm going to start by pulling out the oracles, really get into it. And I'm going to use the books, guys. Long story short, I get messages when I read weird story. I just do. And then add the tarot onto it. I don't know what I'm going to get, if it's going to be a continuation. I hope so. I don't know which side or which aspect I'm going to get. Take what you want, leave behind the rest. Or just take it as a story, right? What do we have? Show me an overall keyword here for this one. What is coming up? We're asking basically what's going to happen here for you. What's going to happen for you? We have fake tales of San Francisco. No more fake tales of San Francisco. Spiritual changes. Lies. Soul connection. And we have a burnout. It's not really promising that well, is it? The fake tales of San Francisco. It showed up in the other reading as well, right? The first one, fake tales of San Francisco. I don't want to see fake tales of San Francisco. What is this fake tales of San Francisco named from? It's named from the Arctic Monkey songs. I don't want to hear you fake tales of San Francisco echoing through this something. It's basically, first and foremost, it is that of lies, right? You will see how it shows up. But it is also an energy here about soulmate connection, and burnout is being in the wrong company with someone who basically just pretends to be something they're not. There's not a lot of authenticity in it, basically. Let's get some start with the pull out here. One of these, which is what are these called? They are called Wisdom of the Oracle. They are very good at giving me this concrete context along with these energies over there, this energy deck. But oracle of energy oracle cards, even though the energy oracle cards sometimes give me messages that are a little bit like, oh, come on. Alright, let's see what we get here. We get chop wood. I'm gonna read that, and we have all that glitters. Guys, it's not really starting out that awesome. I mean, it can turn into it, right? Let's see. I'm adding this one over here. If you are new here, I always use the energies underneath the deck. Sometimes I put energies out on the table. I see them, I go straight to under the deck. What we get with chop wood. I'm gonna read it. With chop wood. All that glitters. Shit. All that glitters is one of those, so don't fall for what it is that you see. Don't fall for everything. Like, it's basically, oh, the grass is green on the other side, but let's see, chop wood, it's still one of those boring energies, gotta be honest with you. Of work. 42 comes straight after soulmate, right? It's basically the reality of what is in there, right? And we had soulmate connection up there. Being grounded in everyday experience and having humility. There are times when the big dream is meant to lie dormant in your consciousness so that you can pay attention to the simple chores in your life. Consider why pruning trees is the forerunner of the lightning and the beautiful blossoms when it is in blossom. The mundane art of pulling off dead leaves, watering the soil, and then leaving it to be to let nature take its course is an important step in manifestation. It's the boredom, alright guys? When you engage in everyday tasks in a meditative, contemplative way, you clear your energy to receive your aha moments, which brings you closer to what you seek. Yeah, nothing is as important right now as just doing what you need to do day to day. Let your heart remember not everything has to be hard-won. Passionate and blah blah blah. Relationship and friendships go through lulls when everyday tasks are at the center of awareness. Now it's time to take small steps rather than the large leaps on the journey of creating your most prosperous life. Move your focus off the big dream and attend to the mundane tasks. Are you an armchair astronaut? Do you dream of wealth and fame, big ideas, inventions, or designs with a capital D? The appearance of this card is a sign that you might be devoting too much time to dreaming and talking about your dreams. You have to get out of that, yeah. Are you an armchair astronaut? Swear to God. Alright, guys. It's the boring. It is so boring. It's cleaning the house, but you know what? Do you see why it is there? It is about life. Everyday life. Not everything has to be so bloody dramatic. Why am I saying this? It's because I feel as though some of you are just observing from the outside. Here we have the orphaned energy again. You are observing from the outside how other people are chasing. Tick tock, and you're just standing there. You know it's a matter of time before reality strikes in. For those who believe that the grass is always greener on the other side, and saying, you know what, it takes time. It takes time. But we will see, especially also showing up with the fake tales of San Francisco. It shows up to me here a little bit as that energy of people coming in and they are dressed up. What the fuck was that? Sorry. My Adobe went crazy. And by the way, now comes the students. If you can hear it, this happens every year. Whenever students graduate in my country, from often you would call it high school, they hire a truck. Each class hire a truck, and then they drive around to visit the parents and get drunk. It's welcome to Denmark. Do I remember mine? Yes, I have never been so drunk in my life. The hungover was terrible. Woke up on a field, going to a festival. Who was only 19 again now. Anyway, Chopwood as a fake tale of San Francisco. What I was getting was this energy about, people coming in, they're dressed and nicely and whatever. They are all about the money, all about the appearance, and they are all about, oh, so I went to San Francisco 2 months ago, and it was probably closed, probably not, but but he was like, I don't need to hear that. Yes, you may have gone to San Francisco. You know where I went? I went to Walmart. Because I don't have. It's basically that of staying grounded in every day, and you don't need all of that drama. You don't need all of those fancy photos on Instagram to indicate that you are just doing so amazing. I mean, you look at them. I don't know how can I explain this. It's an energy here about looking at them, those images of people that are glinting, glitter, everything that glitters, and all of these masks, and you realize it for what it is. It's like, it's a mask. It's a mask. I know that there are a lot of people out there, I see them ask the same questions. How did this person feel when I posted that picture on Instagram? It's like, if you're coming across this person that I'm reading for, they didn't give a shit because they saw through it. They saw through it. It's a mask. It's just this I feel this is I'm reading for, right? You're just so down to earth. I don't need this. What else do we have here? 7th chakra, and it comes here with the angel of strength as well. Spiritual changes are going on. I get this energy. How can I explain it? Do you know that I'm gonna piss someone off? Someone here, they are all about posting pictures of spiritual growth, or posting pictures of, oh my god, I'm doing so amazing. I am just, I don't know, I've been touched by Messiah or Mariposa, I don't know. Yes, a ladybird came down and touched, and then magically this person was just, woke up completely aware of what it means to be alive. Personal opinion is that we'd never know. On our dying day, we may have an indication of why we were here, but we will never fully know. You can drive yourself crazy. It's a matter of basically just enjoying the small pleasures in life. I was talking to someone dear to me about this the other day. Long story there. This 7th chakra, it comes also up a little bit with the spiritual changes. You know what? I'm gonna read that for you. I haven't read from this one in ages, but what I get here a lot of the energies that have been repeating itself this today. These 3 readings have been 4s and 5s and 6 and all of that. It is that of holding on to stability, staying stagnant a little bit. And here what I get is pretending. Meaning, what I meant by that staying stagnant is about holding on to your sense of security, not wanting to open up, but also in a way where you hold on to yourself. It's like some people are holding on because they're afraid of losing. They don't want to open up. They don't want to face the change. And then there are others who are, it would probably be you, who are more relaxed with it. Like, yes, I'm opening up to the extent that I feel like I'm comfortable with sharing of myself. For instance, I don't, you may, when I say I'm talking about you, right? I may not want to open up, share all of my life on Instagram. By the way, it's okay to say no to that, guys. No need to feel pressured. Personal opinion, of course. I'm being schooled every day that I have to be on LinkedIn and all of that. And like, bitch, I ain't doing it. Like, what do you have to hide? I don't have to hide anything, but I don't have to show everything either. Like, I don't have to fucking participate in the networking. I mean, some people are just, we're not for that. It's not about that. What we got here, the beautiful angel Uriel, also called the fire god, wears a brilliant crystal crown vibrating, come on, blah blah blah. She brings great power to your 7th chakra, 7th energy center, which is called the crown chakra. Come on, give me something else. This card indicates open and free-flowing channel of information, inspiration from the blah blah blah. Great intuition. Now is a great time to get connected. It's not what I got. Yeah, this is it. This is about opening up. Didn't I just say that? This is about opening up, but this is a different kind of opening up. I have a feeling this energy will unfold as I lay out more cards. The 7th chakra, it's about, are you open to receive? Or have you lost faith? Because of a burnout? Because of people lying? Because of people I'm not gonna say like, because maybe you get these readings that are always positive and saying, oh my god, this person is gonna tell you they love you, and they never do. And like, I lost faith in tarot. I lost faith in this or that. How can I open up? Guys, you do know that there's I was about to say there's a method sometimes to how people read, but I'm not gonna go into that. There's always a method. My method right now is called chaos. Normally I have a complete structure, but in this 3rd one, I'm actually going completely intuitive. Anyway, let's see what we got there. Here we have a tall tale. It's again a fake tale. I cannot believe it. Someone is lying. Someone is lying. Tender embrace. This is fake tales and a tall tale. Someone is lying. It's got squeak. Because a bicycle passed by the window and it needed oil. Nothing else serious there. A tall tale. Someone is lying. Someone is lying. Alright, I keep repeating myself, but in case you didn't notice, someone is lying. I'm gonna get more on that. I'm so gonna bust this. Show me. Work through your fears. A new romantic cycle begins. I'm so gonna go underneath the deck in a minute, okay? Because there we have spiritual changes, all that glitters, angel of strength, tender embrace, and a new romantic cycle begins. But we have work through your fears. I'm gonna read these guys, alright? We have this one, and we have my moonology. Where's my moonology? It's over there. Let's start by going 35 to the tall tale. Someone's lying. You or someone else is telling a tall tale right now. You always know your falsehood is spoken because it doesn't feel grounded. When you lie, you get high on an illusionary sense of power that is doomed to fail at some point. You feel driven by the fear of exposure. Guys, remember that reading, if you saw it, the reading I did before where someone was in the 9 of Swords. In that case I was saying you, but that person I was telling you to, they were the one who was lying, right? There was a third party situation going on there, and they knew. They just didn't say, they knew. You feel driven by the fear of exposure, but something makes you stick to your story even though you know it has no substance. Whatever lie we are caught up, it isn't as important as the motive for it. Why does anyone lie? Perhaps we don't believe the truth is good enough, or we want to keep doing what we know we shouldn't be doing. There's the lie put forth while in denial, such as hiding an active addiction. What is an active addiction? Is there something as a past? All right, yeah, there is. For instance, smokers, when they quit smoking, it's a passive addiction. You never stop being addicted. In this scenario, we may believe our own lies, the tall tale, the white lie, the stretching of the truth, and the blatant fabrication are all about control. The desire for it, the lack of it, the need to maintain it so we can manipulate the outer world and hide our inner world. Today ask for the truth. Oh my God, guys. Be willing to pay the price and be okay with the vulnerability your lie is exposing in yourself and others. Transparency is required to get to where you need to go, but to be truly empowered, to reveal the strength of what is true and authentic. Any other path leads to a dead end. Remember the saying, the truth will set you free, and get ready to fly unfettered. Some of you guys, you're the one lying to yourself. And what do I mean by that? I still get thrown into this Instagram, or it's the other people you're dealing with. There is this wanting to pretend that things look a particular way, and it's a lie. It's a stage authenticity. I once wrote, again, one of my snobbish on here, I once wrote during a weekend, my first thesis, why I had to learn very quickly about stage authenticity. Of course, it was a complete different setting. I was writing about tourism. But how we, where was it? It was in Peru. I used to live there. In Peru. But there is this, long story short. When I was writing about this stage authenticity, what was I investigating? I was actually investigating how tourism set up shows and played upon cultural heritage, right? Cultural heritage, the cultural history of a particular region and their background, the Inca background, right? How that then contributed, that stage of authenticity. It was staged for tourism. It was staged for tourists to have an experience because that region lived off tourism. So how was that stage then also part of kind of manipulating an inner mindset into, how did that in return affect the sense or the felt experience of the people in regards to their own cultural heritage? Meaning it was a very weird relationship between the West being entertained, but in entertaining them with this authenticity, with this giving them the authentic experience of the Inca culture. The Inca culture was giving opportunities to also live out their experience, but it was still about how, is it mine, is it not, whatever. With stage authenticity, what I get here is still that about, presenting a persona, playing, you pretending to be someone you're not. But in this case, it's a little bit different. Now, in this case, it's really about the intention behind it and the sense of authenticity, because what I was with the Incas there, right? It is there. There is a cultural heritage. There is authenticity in it. It was basically about giving an opportunity to live it out. It's a long time ago, right? I'm not even going to pretend I know what the situation is now. And it was also a limited investigation, so... what I get here is not the same. It's a little bit more of putting on a performity, right? Putting on a performity as opposed to work through your fears. Let's read through the work through your fears. And that gives this fake tales of San Francisco. Of course, this may be people you're dealing with and you're seeing through it, because this has to do with being grounded. This has to not being grounded. It's the difference here. People who are very, very grounded, even to the extent that people call them boring, they don't need this shit. It's also that of having to pretend and show a lot what you have and what you don't have. It's just, can we just be real? Wait for your fear. New moon in Scorpio. New moon in the Scorpio. The card suggests a rebirth. Think of your situation as the phoenix that's rising from the ashes, as birth, death, rebirth paradigm. I think I went over it in the other reading. Whatever you have been through, there's a new start ahead. It might be a little dark. It almost certainly won't be rainbows and unicorns. Oh my god, it really says so in this book. It almost certainly won't be rainbows and unicorns. It speaks my language. Anyway, but it will be deep and transforming. The card also suggests that if you know that you are magical, then this is the time to work your magic. It can also herald a sexier time. You have been experienced something of drought, and emotional intimacy is now also on the menu. Scorpio is a sign that likes to go deep into the body, mind and spirit. So when this card comes off, there's nothing superficial about what's coming up. Have a sexy time, by the way. Time to let go of a grudge and move on from jealousy. Stop being obsessive. Could it be that you're being paranoid? And make an investment. It has to do with this shadow sign, right? Sign of death and rebirth, magic and shamans. Now is the energy maybe a little dark. Can even feel a little scary. See, that's the thing. All right, let's just get... I haven't even pulled the tarot. I'm being pulled in just by these energies here. Now, because I have like a split here, right? And both of these are about staying grounded or losing contact with reality. Then we have the 7th chakra and the fear and the Scorpio here. What I get is that... Oh my god, I do feel a little bit fearful. It's like someone is getting a lot of downloads. But in those downloads comes the darkness. You can't know, how can you know light if you don't know darkness? Right? That's the thing. A lot of people, they will only see the light. They will only see the light, and then they lie to themselves and pretend to be that they are in the light energy, that they are only seeing light. But you know what? That's a fake tale of San Francisco, because you gotta know the shit. Right? To walk in the light is to walk with a shadow. And you see your shadow. Otherwise you fall into the Peter Pan. Peter Pan lost his shadow, and what did he spend the rest of his life doing? He was stuck in infancy. Right? And Peter Pan is not really... It's the never end... It's the never... It's never growing up. It sucks growing up. Right? But the 7th chakra here, and work through your fears. What I got here is that of being a little bit afraid of what comes and what comes down. Because when you have to face the shadow, your shadow, you also have to face the shit you did. It's not always cool, but in that comes forgiveness again. I feel I'm being tied up to the first reading again. Forgiveness. Feels like I'm actually closing the entire thing up. Whoever it is that needs to forgive, we all need to forgive ourselves and others. First and foremost, the first step in doing shadow work, I would say, is also forgiving yourself. A lot stems from forgiving yourself for not knowing what you know today, for not having the strength, so to say, or not having the capacity to do what you can do today, but for doing something, you did something in the past, or you allowed for something to happen. Because that was where you were at that point. And you may sit here in the present moment and go back and you're like, I should have known better. Why didn't I see that? Because you didn't. And that's that. First step in forgiveness is forgiving yourself for what you didn't know. For what you weren't capable of doing at that time. Right? It's okay. And then there's also that of loving oneself. It depends on what you have been through. Right? I feel the most loneliest feeling there is probably that of valuing yourself when other people don't. But then it's so important to look around and just point, if you can just point the finger at one person and say, that person values me, even if it's just your neighbor. You know that they value you for who you are, then that's enough. Sometimes you will not be valued by the people you want to be valued by if they don't have that capacity, and that's them. That's up for them. Right? Spiritual changes on the bottom there. Tension building. Something is building up there. Alright, let's pull the last one here. Soul lesson. And then let's get to the tarot. We're almost 30 minutes in, right? We have health. And we have balance. I honor the physical vessel that enshrines my body. And here we have, I'm looking up to the burnout. Are you compatible with your environment? Are the needs and demands that are being placed upon you, can you meet those expectations with what you have? Is there a flow? For instance, you may have the talents that you're being pushed down upon you, but if your talents need more time and you're not being granted that time, it won't be in flow. In health is that I honor the physical vessel that enshrines my body. I am being thrown back to the first reading again, which first there was a loss. I remember that. I saw the loss and I saw the vessel, which is an indication of the body. I feel like I'm doing a close-up reading, right? In that reading, yes, I did see a little bit trauma bond tied up here to the soulmate connection, or feeling as though you were emotionally invested into something from the past here, right? But something here is a lie. Something here is a lie. I will definitely look into that lie if we have time. I will make time for that, right? Because something is a lie and I need to know what that lie is to the extent that I can. But in all cases, I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Has a lot to do with you taking care of yourself and staying grounded. And staying grounded by just cleaning your house. I look around my place like shit. Weekend chore. That is the weekend chore basically. That's cleaning. What is it what we do every Sunday? We fucking clean. Do laundry. But there is these boring tasks. That's part of living life. Taking care of your body. Taking care of your health. And honoring this lifetime that you have. You only get this body. Aging cannot be stopped. Time cannot be given back. What is up with this health? Give me one else. We have in doubt. I need to release the need to know all answers, and we have loneliness and self-esteem. That's very depressing, and blame and grief. Guys, this is depressing. Let me tell you, I release the need to know all answers. That is this working through your fears again and fake tales. That is the release of control. Remember that what is also on this card. I can't believe I didn't go through it. It was the control issue. The control issue is to present a certain image of yourself, or be the other people present a certain image, the way you look, the way you, what you eat, whatever, as a way to hide that you are alone. It's like, I'm never alone. I'm always cool. I'm always with other people. I'm not alone. It's like, well, personally, I gotta say I'm alone most of the time because I live alone at the current moment, unless it's being bombarded, and it's not. But there is this. There is this. A lot of people they misunderstand being alone for loneliness. It's not. I feel I've been thrown back to what is Robbie Williams that said, loneliness is not being alone, it's being surrounded by people who don't understand you. That's the loneliness. And now I'm being thrown back to the second reading I did, where someone was surrounded by people in a teamwork, but they felt lonely. That would then not be you, that would be the other person, right? See, that's the thing. To be lonely, completely that loneliness is a felt experience. It's not a what do you say? It's not that you don't have people around you. It's not the same as being lonely. That's being alone. Right? I know that I am never alone. All right, that's being alone in your own company. When you feel good in your own company, you don't get lonely. That's why a lot of single people who are fine with being single, they know how to entertain themselves. They can find hobbies. They can, I don't know. You know how to be alone. People who have never been single and they don't know how to be single, they don't like being alone. So they've thrown themselves into a lot of new connections without really proper learning being alone. Right? the challenge is not to be single for too long. Because then you have to give up of your freedom. It's like, I don't know. But what I got here was that, honestly, back to this reading. I release the need to know all answers. Someone here doesn't want to be alone. They feel a loneliness, but that's probably because they're surrounding themselves with people who don't understand them. Right? And they're misunderstanding that of being alone. You can go online and the online world is amazing. And again, the self-esteem, I possess the gift of the soul that benefit me and others. And blame, I take responsibility and grief and guilt and humor and honesty. I'm a little bit being thrown back into, can you forgive me? Your humor and your honesty help me grow. Can you forgive me? Can you forgive me? I'm happy. I'm on the right path. My pride. You help me see myself in other relationships. Why do I get? I keep getting, can you forgive me? Can you forgive me? But it ties up. Right, let's get back to how it ties up to health. Let's get out of this one and let's get back to how it ties up to health in this case here. It's not, because now I was going into the other reading. This case here this is about for the person who has given and given and given of themselves, which shows up as you. This is the feminine energy that's coming into the understanding that it's time. This is the feminine energy that has given and given. It's time to understand. Coming into this, it's time to take back. It's time to take back. Because you drain yourself and you burn out. And when you burn out, it's a physical condition as well, where you are so tired. You don't want to continue. You're so tired. The balance is, I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment and courage. I find the strength to face fear with confidence, and I'm working with my discipline, and I'm understanding that failure is an opportunity to learn and to grow. You're changing. This is the feminine energy that's becoming more masculine in herself. Right? But I keep getting, can you forgive me? Can you forgive me for what I also did to your body? Can you forgive me? Can you forgive me for making you sick? Can you forgive me for how I affected your health? Alright, let's get here to it. 32. Alright, this may be a long reading, I'm sorry guys, but it's very interesting. Show me what else we have here. At least they're not going on the woo-woo-zilla, huh? Just whistling. We have the Four of Wands, the Empress, and the Five of Swords, and we have the Hierophant. I almost want to do another reading just on what's underneath the deck, but I can't. Because I have to keep it short, right? Sometimes I wonder who watches these readings. Do you ever get anything from it? The Four of Wands. This is Venus in Aries. It's harmony. What I love about this card, now I have to show it to you now, is that this girl, she has an, what do you call it? An artificial leg. No, she has a robot leg. I don't know what you call it, alright, in English. She lost her leg and she has a substitute there. It's an artificial leg. But it's more like a robot leg than anything, because, well, it is in the Next World Tarot, because I don't think this leg has been invented for everyday use though. Right, where you can have it with mobility. In all cases. Yeah, then what I get here is that this is about innovation actually. Because this girl may have lost her leg from the hip, and when you lose it from the hip, you can't really use prostate or prosticity, whatever you call them, right? But if you use one that because it doesn't have this bending, you always get this stiffness, so you can't really walk with this bending of the knee. But if you had this robot leg, right, I call it that, where it has this mechanic at the knee so it can bend, you walk more straightforward, more balanced, right? What I got by that was innovation. I also got, having been this, again, the limp. I got the limp again. We showed up in the reading in the other one, where the person down here had limp biscuit or something. It's having to learn to walk again, basically. You may walk differently, you may hold yourself differently, but you walk again. And with the Empress here, this is this growth. And this Empress is alone. Right? She is alone. We're still going to look into the lie. I keep getting pulled back into the lie. Alright, I actually don't even want to go into this because I want to look into the lie. But that may come here with the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is one of survival. Someone may have lied to survive. What do I mean by that? I have no idea. Why do you lie to survive? I have a feeling that there's something very deep to that, and I wonder if I have time. So I even have this. Alright, tell me more about the lie here. The Maiden in reverse. And the Stone. Someone fell in love with an illusion. They lied because they had to. There are lies going on in the home environment. And someone sees through it. Show me this Fairy Tales of San Francisco. Anima Mundi. The Mirror. The lies we tell about others tend to be the truth about ourselves. What does that say? I have no idea what I'm saying, guys. I'm just getting it. I have no idea whatsoever. Someone will need to tell me more about lies. Because this is an energy I don't understand. Let me see if I can try. I may have to look up something. Hold on. Alright, I'm back with the Anima Mundi. Reject, accept all, reject none. Overwhelmed with the bigness of existence, but tending to the sacred details of life. Accept all, reject none. Simply put, this is the living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by the loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied. Embraced, constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. Alright, it is this energy about all being at one, right? It has shown up previously also with the one. We are one. It is initiation of the level of the soul. Yes, thank you. You will awaken to the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself in a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Yes. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. See this, if you can hear this, all of this life that's passing me by. This is being in the cosmic pool. This is what I get is basically this lie. The lie. Someone is lying. I feel it honestly. Wow. Am I really getting a message here that someone here saying the entire thing is a fucking lie? The entire thing is a fucking lie. What you see is not what you get. This is depressing. Unfortunately, it's something I can actually see myself fall into this. Do this where you look around and you're like, it's not, nothing here, nothing you see is true. Nothing you see is true. If it looks like it's all like glitters. If it looks like that. If it looks like, oh my god, it's too good to be true, it probably is. It probably is too good to be true. That's where your intuition is going to kickstart in. We have this thinking man and this thinking woman. It's like the way the communication is taking place is just not true. It's just not true. The way they appear to others, the way they present themselves to others, it's just not true. They're too logical. They are not in their hearts. They are trying to control. And that's where I get here. Some of you may initially abandon your intuition here. For some of you, you will, for a short period of time, you will lose faith. You will lose faith because you may feel as though this is not honest. And I do sense this. Unfortunately, some of you will have lost a little bit of your maiden. The maiden fell in love with an idiot. The maiden used to believe in the good in everyone. The maiden used to believe that... I still feel as though you know, that's the thing, I feel as though you want to, right? But there is this energy, I don't know if this is someone you're dealing with, they want someone to come and save them. And then they gossip about everyone else. But truth will be seen. Right? And I feel as though you will see the world reflected back to you as a lie. Meaning that if you put up a facade that is dishonest, you will get dishonesty thrown back at you. It is this authenticity. It's a matter of authenticity. And you may actually feel it in your body. You may feel yourself drained. You may feel as though, I judge other people so harshly because I judge myself harshly. I don't like other people because I don't like myself. The way to create balance is to start by looking at myself. And vice versa. There's also a lot of freedom in recognizing that when people really dislike you, it's because sometimes you remind them of what they don't like in themselves. Sometimes, right? Depends on who they are. But that tends to be that, when someone is really triggered, when some really, and you really don't like it, it's time to sometimes look at yourselves like, why am I responding like this? Had the high priestess underneath here, didn't we? Or was it something else? But there we have her again. All that glitters. Not trusting it. Not trusting it. And there we have this lion. Alright, everything is shaking here. You will, however, find the courage to take action. Some of you will find yourself in the close proximity of a soulmate, where there is a tender embrace. Some of you are really going to be. It's going to be very. Yeah. Oh, there we have it. A new romantic cycle begins when you start looking at the bigger picture. Ooh. You may not trust them. I'm not going to say that they are a liar or not. It may be that you were lied to in the past. So there's a soulmate connection. But remember what I said in the other reading. Some of you, if you are dealing with someone right now and you know they are not honest, some of you are in a situation right now where someone has a further energy and they know it and they're not saying it. What's coming up for you is the 10 of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, and the 2 of Cups. Long-term commitment. Are you holding? No, you're not. Dang it, do you not? Some of you are just not fucking doing it. Shit! Oh my god, I cannot believe this. Oh! Some of you will find that someone will want to reconcile with you, and you're saying, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. See, here we have it again. This is someone having sleepless nights because they know they fucked up. They are having small indications. Their intuition is tell them something. They are developing a little crush here on someone. This is what's coming up to you. Some of you are saying, I don't trust this. I don't trust this. Someone from the past. You're sad. See, that's the thing. What I get here is that when someone comes your way, you're working on yourself. You are finding where it is that you want to go. You're figuring out your path here. You're just somewhere else. But you know, the thing is, when you come here, the other person has already moved on, by the way, in the sense that they are looking at things in nostalgia. You don't. You may experience that you are being left and abandoned. Left and abandoned in a state where it's like, you just took advantage of me. Look at the second reading I did. Right? You can watch these readings and watch them all again if you have 6 hours. But you know, this is a story, and it has the same happy ending in that someone took advantage of someone. They took advantage of you. I'm reading for you here right now. You are the one that showed up in the first, and this is the third reading. The second reading showed up as the other person who took advantage. They took advantage. And when they come, they look at this as a good memory. And they may want to come back. They may want to reconcile. They may want to have these spiritual changes because the tension is building. And they do see, I see these compliments for, can you forgive me? You are so original. You are so, wow, you are one of a kind. And you're like, you left me. You abandoned me. Your heart has not, there's fear with you when it comes to this person. It's not even boredom yet. It's fear. And what do I mean by that? When you have fear, when you don't trust this person, you will never feel safe with them. And if we are not safe, it will affect our health. It results in stress. Because you will always be fearful of whether or not they will pull the same trick on you. That's why trust is so difficult to rebuild. And sometimes it can't be rebuilt again. Because what it is, when you lose trust, you are in constant state of fear that you are not safe. The biggest compliment, the most comfort we can have is that when we feel safe. And if someone has mistreated you in a particular way, by lying, everything becomes fake. You don't trust them. And the worst part that can happen is if this becomes a general trust wound where you don't trust nobody. Where you don't trust nobody. Unfortunately, I've had my suspicions that trust wounds are becoming more and more generalized, because the more and more people treat each other like shit, the bigger the collective trust wound will become, and we will have serious issues. All right. You may do so many researches on fake news and calling it this and that and all of that. You know what? I can trace it back to one particular pattern. I call it a narcissistic pattern of people doing, politicians, business folks, whoever, people treating other people as a means to an end. When you forget humanity, when you make people, you objectify humanity like this, which happens when you are too much in the performance, you objectify humanity. You foster general trust wounds, because the only way you can survive in such a cold and harsh environment when nobody gives a fuck about you is to become a hard shell of yourself. I'm sorry, but that is what I have suspected for many years. And then they scream about how people lose trust. This is how. When you fuck them over again and again. When you don't live up to your promises. When the Father who we give our faith to, fucks you over again and again, you lose trust. And that be your friends, your family, whoever. I have never, thankfully, not seen it in my family. So fucking fortunate. But I don't know. Some of us are also very lucky, right? We always have at least someone we can count on. Thankfully, that's why I always say, point towards one person you at least know that has dignity and grace, so you can please have faith in humanity. Because if you are continuously thrown into a situation where you are fucked over, you become cold. That's why it's so important to have at least one quality person in your life who will treat you with respect. Because then you can at least turn there and say, alright, you know what? The world may be cold and a very place where you get burned out, but you know what? At least I have. At least I can turn around and look at you and say, okay, they are still decent people out there. Alright? That can help with the trust wound. Because what I got here, so what I got here was that I hope it's just a situational trust wound, meaning it's not a generalized, but a situational way to let you lost trust in this person, and then it is so fucking difficult to regain it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. It's very difficult to get trust back. If you cheated on someone, it's very difficult to get that person to trust you again. It takes a lot of work. It's not just coming back saying, hey darling, remember me. It takes a lot more. It takes admitting what you did wrong. It takes admitting the pain you brought. And that's one thing. Taking accountability and truly honestly feeling sorry. Truly honestly recognizing the pain and the hurt that was done. And taking accountability for it. And then it takes for the other person to want to give it a chance. And that's very difficult. If this person cannot, if the person who was hurt, if they're blocked, the pain was too much, it's done. And if the other person won't admit to it, it's done. And it affects the health. Trust issues affect the health because you are constant fear. You are tense the entire time. The tension builds. Your strength, your shoulders go up. You are in so much tension that you can actually affect your health. And that's why it's not good to be in relationships where there are no trust. Right? That's where we get the health. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. And that's judgment. Judgment being, I cannot live in this state of fear the entire time. So that is what we have for you. I feel as though the entire soul lesson here, the whole journey here has been about a reconciliation possibly not working out. So that is what I have for you guys. I will see you